Thank you for joining us with Autumn Magazine. Let's just kind of start by telling our listeners and our readers a little bit more information about you. So you're an MMA mixed martial arts fighter. Can you kind of explain how you got into competing in the UFC?
Well, competing in the UFC or competing in MMA in general?
Just in general.
I started wanting to compete. Well, I started just wanting to, how would you say, practice martial arts, and I just didn't have a way of going about it. So around the age of 14, I joined the wrestling team, which enabled me a wrestling practitioner named Enrico Coco, who invited me and my brother and a couple of the wrestlers that were on the team as well to the gym, which was a mixed martial arts gym, and that's when I first had my taste of martial arts and began to train into it every day. So I guess that's where I was introduced into training, but fighting professionally, it came way of a guy, I guess he saw me doing the backyard street fight, decided he wanted to be my manager and I could go professional, and that's when I started fighting professionally around, I believe it was the age of 18.
So how long in total, how many years have you been doing this?
So 9 years I've been fighting professionally. I'm training since I was 14, so
okay.
That gives it a few more years of experience.
Explain to our listeners what is your passion?
Well, I guess if I would have to describe my passion, it encompasses a lot of things. I guess life in general, just being free to live. I'm very passionate about. Although it doesn't happen every day. That's why you have to be grateful when you do get the chance to be free and be passionate about life when whatever you're doing.
Now, this month's issue is based on small beginnings, and just kind of reflecting on the scripture, not despising the day of small beginnings. Can you describe a moment in your life that may have been a challenge to you, but ultimately molded who you are today?
Well, there's plenty of times.
Yeah.
There was plenty of potholes and ups and downs in the journey for your passions and dreams. So to think of one, I mean, I can think of plenty. There's tons these even some from my childhood, which probably changed the frame of my mind work, the way my mind works, and probably helped molded the person that I am today. Although there are many various occasions that have helped as well. But I believe it would definitely have to tie into the human condition of competition. I remember when I was younger, every time I would run or race somebody, I would do very well, as long as I was ahead. But the minute I would hear or sense that somebody was behind me or coming close, I noticed that I would considerably slow down without being tired or fatigued or whatsoever. And so I realized at a young age that it was me mentally defeating myself. When things got hard, I kind of backed off. And when I noticed that, and when I realized what the problem was, I was able to go within myself and fix that, and then was able to just not, instead of trying to compete with somebody else, just do it the best that I could, and found myself ahead in the next races.
Okay. So you kind of you were at that time, I guess you could say your own worst enemy, right?
Yes.
What do you, if somebody else is listening to this and they're having that same issue, what type of advice would you give someone that kind of gets stuck in their head?
Well, the best thing to do is you have to take a few steps back. You have to take a wide view of the problem. Sometimes we're too close to what's ailing us, and we're too focused on what's hurting us that we can't really see the bigger picture, because we just can't relax, calm down, take a few breaths, take a few steps back, and be like, okay, now let's see what's going on. I see that this area is afflicted, but could this area be causing this?
Okay.
My body was setting itself limitations due to my mind, due to my mental deficits.
Yeah. Kind of talk to us about what your ultimate goal in life is.
Ultimate goal, I guess, ultimately, what I do is not for today, it's obviously for tomorrow. So my ultimate goal would have to be, I guess, preparing a world where I feel comfortable in raising my children in.
Is there someone that you would like to have your children kind of look up to, or yourself that you look up to now, where you're like that person has helped kind of push me?
I look up to all the artists that want to express themselves. I look up to all the people that are in the struggle as well. I look up to the people that have less than me and they are still, on their 2 feet and doing what they have to keep doing. Everybody is definitely plays a big part of being my hero because every time I feel that my situation is bad or hard, I can always see that somebody else is taking their struggles with stride, and I can learn from them always.
Now, I'm very knowledgeable about the movie Last Dragon, and in us just kind of doing research before the interview, we found on treedog.com that part of your name on the site is Bruce Leroy, the very iconic figure or infamous figure on The Last Dragon. Is that something that you kind of took to mold yourself after, or maybe somebody kind of nicknamed that to you and it kind of just stuck?
No, not at all. I didn't come up with the nickname. I didn't even actually know about the movie. Somebody, I guess,
No.
noticed that I resembled the main character of the movie, and which is it was a few people from the gym as well as my manager started calling me that, and the nickname stuck. So I saw the movie afterwards and enjoyed the movie, but I didn't know the movie previously. Prior to being nicknamed Bruce Leroy.
So what advice would you give to others that may be in a stage in their lives where it seems easier to quit than to continue moving forward?
Well, often, we tend to quit while we're ahead because we're always searching for the end of a situation. We're always searching for what's around the corner. Or how would you say, the light at the end of the tunnel. We don't realize most of the time that the enlightenment, the illumination, the enlightenment happens due to the illumination when you're walking through that dark tunnel, because you're not walking towards the light at the end of the tunnel. You are the light inside of the tunnel, and every time you walk by, you can see the hieroglyphics stained upon the wall, so that way you can learn. So we have to realize that we're not blind, but we have to look around us and see exactly what is around us, which is the world.
Nice. Now, do you have maybe a certain scripture or quote that either is a favorite for you or something that you live by that you would like to share with us?
That's hard.
Yeah. Or even like a mantra, just something that you kind of tell yourself to kind of to move forward, each day or whenever you find yourself in a bind.
Well, it really isn't a mantra, I necessarily feel. Sometimes a lot of things to relax. I guess there was a quote that always lets me know that there aren't any limitations. I guess I forget who exactly it was, but it's one that always stuck with me since high school. It was oh man, I'm on to the mic track. I'm sorry. I got
It's
lost.
all right.
Once a mind has expanded to new horizons, it can never return to its original dimensions.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. So just the thought of either continuing to educate yourself or push yourself and knowing that you won't get kind of stuck or you can't take that step back after that.
Yeah, like knowledge is a beautiful and ugly truth. It's one of those things. Sometimes, not all the time. For the most part, it's good, but sometimes it's one of those things that you wish you didn't know, but you're glad you knew it.
Right, right.
Like some people would rather be ignorantly
Mm-hmm.
blissfully ignorant. Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Um, Now, my last question for you, um, for the listeners, can you please let us know about any up and coming fights that you might be in or projects that you have coming up?
Well, I'm not sure of any upcoming fights of yet. I'm still waiting on calls. But I am. We are in the workings. Me, myself, and Cyrus Alexander. We are in the workings of making the film Year of the Rat, um, which we will start working on hopefully this summer, and everything looks like to be going well. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, no, my schedule's open.
Okay. Well, we will definitely keep an eye out for any up and coming, you know, videos or information for the Year of Rat because I know that we definitely want to continue following you and kind of seeing where that leads to the end of the year or until next year. And we're really excited, and we just want to say thank you so much, Alex, for sitting down with us and spending time with us and kind of telling us about your story and yourself.
Thank you for having me on.